Hey, how we doing?
All right. Oh, stretching. Is quartz yellow over time? Do you know, like stones?
Not intimately enough to really speak on. But
Does it have
there
a
are
chunk of
yellow
quartz?
quartzes.
Yeah, and this has like a yellowish. It's not super yellow, but it's like kind of a golden hue.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, because it literally looks like there's threads of gold through it, but it's just the way it's cracked inside. Huh. I've never noticed that before. It's kind of weird. Anyway, what's the newest one?
Hey.
What's up?
You know, just the usual.
Looking at the lobby.
Hello.
I don't know if she's muted or just being antisocial.
Not entirely sure.
Okay, I checked. That was the right one.
What right one?
I was making sure that I had the most recent copy of her sheet up because I usually name them similarly with one difference. So sometimes if I can only see the beginning of the file, I don't know which one it is until I look.
I always try to use the date. The few times that I've changed anything, I try to use a date or version numbers. Rarely anything else. Mainly because I'm lazy. Simple, clear is easier.
What usually messes me up is when I use Acrobat, I leave things open, but then anytime it updates my system and stuff, it'll close things out. So I'm like, oh no. And then I can't use the date for certain things because it's been open that whole time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't put the episode title in the header because it is too long. There's a character limit.
What's the title?
Home is where the heart breaks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just looking up a thing or two, and then I can be probably ready.
Good deal. We built this house of memories. And the clock on the wall, and man moving it on, and the state that I'm in. Sometimes it feels like the world's closing in.
Alrighty. So how is everyone?
Living someone's dream.
And you wish they would wake the fuck up?
No, what I would definitely sweet, silent way to go.
Awesome. Penny is sick tonight, but I'm going to beat the shit out of her anyway.
Gently and with love, of course, correct? The beatings will continue unless the morale improves.
Well, disclaimer, I meant in-game, not, not anything where the police would need to be involved.
That's not saying much, after all. There is, of course, the rule of thumb.
So before we begin, does anyone have any questions? People remember where we were? Pertinent information?
Yes, we
Vanilla or strawberry?
Strawberry. Of course, you're allergic to it. And yes, we were shoring up the easiest to snip threads that lead back towards, or led back towards, as the case may be, being as we were considerably later on that, pulling that trigger. No good deed goes unpunished. And by allowing and trusting in the self-preservational loyalties of another individuals, we have thus far damned ourselves to very well this hell of running from post to post and stem to stem.
That works. So, if everyone is ready and amenable, we will get a start a few minutes early so that I don't have to stay up terribly late and I'm able to get through what I want to get through. However, what I want to get through is probably not the whole session anyway. Like I said, and then it'll be back to, I don't know what's happening, it's time to herd the cats.
All right, good deal. Let us begin the herding. You did say that with a T and not with a D, correct?
I mean, both apply.
Okay, fire away.
So, welcome you all to Season 3, Episode 5, I believe, of All of Us Sinners, which is entitled Home is Where the Heart Breaks. As always, there is a trigger warning implied in these sort of games. Tonight, I just want to remind us of that because some of the things I've thought of, if I go that hard, there is a trigger warning. So, now that I've built it up so much that it will just be disappointing, we will get on with our story. So when last we left, Lyric and Finn were escaping from an apartment where a man had just had a horrible assisted accident and is currently finishing up bleeding out in his dingy bathroom. Penny had followed her son, her mortal son, to his home, and that's where we will pick up. Who wants to go first?
Well, as we're leaving, getting back to the A train to get out of this hellhole, is there any particular individuals paying particular notice in regards to us evacuating the premises? That is, in fact, the only question prevalent. We know how to get back to the train. We know how to get back across the bridge.
Well, that brings up an interesting point. If I could get Lyric to roll a resolve and animalism real quick, as the pair of you climb down a rickety, rusty fire escape to the alley below, doing the 10-foot drop into the muck. Or not quite 10 foot. There is a squeaky ladder that comes down, but not quite all the way to the ground. Okay, so that roll in hand. As you drop into the muck, Lyric, you sense something is wrong. There is a predator nearby, which will give you a chance to warn your friend, which will give him a chance to dodge, if he so chooses.
Sure, let's take our chances. Are you letting me know, or you tossing me aside like yesterday's newspaper?
He leans in real quick. Hey, there's something wrong. Something wrong, babe.
Okay, well, let's begin moving. His first reaction, of course, is to grab Rick, who, of course, can defend herself by force of habit. Grab Rick and attempt to leap back and away from wherever he is right in this moment. He understands that it's actually probably 100% futile. However, force of habit, you cover and protect what is important to you. And right now, it is not himself that is actually important to him.
All right, well, with that in mind, as you grab Lyric and back up, something hits you from behind rather hard, and you are going to take 6 unhalved, or you'll have it, but 6 damage, so 3 damage, superficial.
Okay.
As a broken 2x4 collides rather strongly into your back.
No, that's not very kind.
As, being swung by like a bat, not like it was thrown.
Okay. Well, I guess we're doing this, huh? Okay.
And then Lyric will obviously know that what the something that was wrong is, as some splinters of wood bounce off of her as the 2x4 shatters.
In that case, she won't immediately check on Finn. Her first response is to spin towards what was swinging the weapon and go for it.
All right, so as you turn around, amidst the shadows and filth, there is a rather large individual. Kind of looks like maybe he played some college football. He's rather bulky. He's not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger, and clearly he had let himself go at some point, but he is wearing like a wife beater shirt and some sweatpants and a dirty old 3/4 length jacket. He is ugly as shit. His skin is kind of gray and mottled. Seems like his eyes are drooping, his jowls are too big. From what you can see of his hands and face, he seems to be kind of seeping some bloody pus from some wounds that seem like they are constant. He's got a big shit-eating grin on his hand and part of a 2x4 in his hand, shit-eating grin on his face. And he looks at the pair of you and says, "You just couldn't leave well enough alone, could you?"
I think you got us confused. Punch him in the solar plexus.
All right. So if
I
you
don't
guys
like
are
hurting. I don't like hurting, and that was uncalled for.
So if you guys are making attacks, you can go ahead and roll those.
Yuki's gonna try to keep aware just in case he's not by himself. She doesn't want to be snuck up on any further. This 2 against 1 works for her, but if it evens out, she's not gonna be happy.
Given your roll earlier, you don't sense anything other than this predator, but this predator is rather overwhelming with malice at the moment. He definitely intends to do some harm.
What'd that do? It went the wrong way.
It's strength plus brawl, right?
Yeah, strength and brawl if you're using a brawl attack.
Ah, shit. It went with max crit. Sorry about that. That wasn't the intention.
You want to just keep your original outcome?
Yeah, but I hit the wrong button, so it's fine. I'll take the lumps, whatever it is. Ignorance of the law is no excuse if the law is, sir.
All right. He manages to match both of you on his dodges, but as you are the aggressors, you guys have the upper hand. However, that will just do, unless you're using some weapons or potence or something like that, which I didn't hear anybody activate. Actually, I don't think either one of you have potence anyway. You're basically just going to each inflict 1 superficial onto him, so that will bring him to 2 superficial wounds. And he responds with, "So we're doing this."
Hey, you started. You can stop it anytime you want. One, who the fuck are you?
He chuckles and swings the 2x4 again, or what's left of it. It's much shorter than it was. He's kind of attacking with reckless abandon. Are you guys continuing to fight? Are you dodging, or what are you doing here?
Lyric is gonna try to take his legs from him.
Well, okay. There's really not much I can do in this particular situation. I'm not going to. Well, yeah. Just as he's preparing to haul back and swing with all due invective, punch him in the throat. Finn is not this guy, so he's literally doing his absolute best to keep up with the chaos around him. Like, who the fuck are you? Why? What? We can't talk about this like ungentlemanly sorts, but no, you want to go ahead and hit people with sticks. What's wrong with you? The barbarity. I mean, ridiculously.
All right, so if you guys are attacking, it would be strength and brawl again. And as I'm a big fan of it, we're going to do the 3 rounds and out. So this will be the last attack round, and then we will resolve it based on where we're at.
Yeah, that was my 2 for this round.
Oh, hang on. Why did you do that?
Not sure I heard what you said there, Lyric, but I'm assuming you're waiting on a reply from me.
No, I said that was my roll. I had 2 for this round. Right before you rolled your first one, I rolled because I figured it was the same roll.
Yeah, okay. My bad. I did not see that. So he is able to pound on Finn one more time, which will be 5 unhalf, so 2. And as he wasn't really defending himself, he will take the same amount from the combination of the two of you. Unless somebody was using a weapon or something, which I don't think was the case.
Nope.
No, she hasn't taken her weapons out yet, but if it continues, she probably will.
On the bright side, the 2x4, the weapon he was holding, are pretty much splinters now, so that's no longer useful to him. But he does hit like a truck. At this point, he will back away, or at least attempt to back away, and he will grab a trash can.
He's not going to get far because while Finn had him from the front, she was hurting him from the back, so she's not going to let him step back.
Okay. Well, if you would like to take a parting shot on him as he moves to grab a trash can, that is his action. Is to rearm himself with whatever is nearest. But he will say something half under his breath, half grunted about crawling out of his window.
Okay, so this time she usually keeps like brass knuckles in her pocket. So while she's closing in on him this time, she's going into her pocket, slipping them on, and then she's hitting him again. Kidney shots aren't going to help nothing. She's trying to take him to the ground.
All right. Go ahead and roll an attack. I will give him a dodge since he's just moving. Though he is much better at hitting than he is at not getting hit. So.
Where's well, Lyric is hauling back to clock him. Does it look like it's upper body, lower body? Does she look like she's aiming for like general head area? The reason why I'm asking is because the
legs.
Okay, so lunge forward to grab his face and ride him to the ground, while making eye contact to take these last 10 minutes away from him, or 5 minutes away from him. Literally a desperate, ridiculously timed attempt.
All right, there is a roll for using, I assume, dominate in combat. Let me look that up real quick here.
Sure thing.
Okay, so she's, like I said, she was aiming for joints. She would be going for his knees, or one knee, whichever was closest, with her brass knuckles. She's proficient in joint locks, and that was the outcome of the roll for.
Would be your resolve and intimidation, Finn.
Resolve plus intimidation? That's ridiculous. He doesn't have any of those. Oh my goodness. What does fate say for us?
And he dodges poorly, so you are able to connect with him. He will stagger and kind of slip in the muck. He does remain on his feet, but he's definitely off balance as he kind of slams into the trash can he was going to get.
What? Why is it doing that? Sorry, the bot was acting the butt. Ah, that's why. At least I know why now. Sorry for the hold up.
No worries. Try though you might. Maybe it's him staggering, maybe he's just not impressed, but you were never able to lock eyes with him to get your command off. He does go kind of staggering into the trash can. He does pick it up and steady himself against the wall. He's looking to defend himself at this point. He figured this would go a little quicker for him than it has, but at this point he's lost the element of surprise and you're both still standing, so he's in more of a defensive posture now. And to be fair, that plastic trash can, while heavy and solid, is probably not going to hurt nearly as much as the 2x4 did. So he kind of defends himself, he backs up, he eyes both of you warily. And at that point, we will cut our gaze over to Penny. Penny finds herself kind of standing outside the abode of her child, or a little ways down the street. She gives it a last lingering glance, and she turns to leave as she hears a door slam and some shouting.
She will back herself up into a little shadow and just disappear for a few moments and watch.
What you see is your darling child come back out. He has taken off his jacket and his dress shirt. It's just in his undershirt. He looks a bit disheveled. He's only been a few minutes in the house. He sits down on the stoop, grumbling to himself.
All right, she will watch and do her best to listen from where she...
Are you heightening your senses, or are you just listening normally?
Dude, I am heightening my senses.
All right. As you heighten your senses and watch, you notice that there is some blood dripping from his hand. Not like an alarming amount.
She will frown and continue to listen.
He looks down at his hand, wipes it on his jeans, and hangs his head. You notice as you continue to observe him that now that he's wiped his hand off, that he doesn't appear to be cut.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, she will... Christ. Okay, she will pull her scarf up around, like, the lower part of her face, like, nose down, and walk by on the other side of the street. Out for a pleasant stroll.
So as you move, he buries his face in his hands, and you watch him, and you start to put together a picture, I assume.
Quite possibly.
And you think about it, because you wanted to be a good mom. But, things happen. You couldn't exactly be a good vampire mom. It's not like you could go to PTA meetings or take him to soccer practice.
Right. I mean, the poor kid was only 4 years old.
And his dad clearly did the best he could, but, it's hard to be an only child and then thrust into a new adopted family, a family that was put together without any input from you. You were just kind of forced to accept it. Your mother having abandoned you because at the time you had just disappeared. No one knew what happened to you. Leaving a 4-year-old child to wonder what he did that made mommy leave him behind. And there he sits, a grown man, approaching middle age, crying into his hands with someone else's blood on his fist.
Okay. My kingdom for some dominate. She's just gonna stay back because, she knows better.
He leans back onto his elbows on the stairs there, stares up into the sky, sighing and mumbling to himself. Can't really make out anything he's saying. You're too far away and it's mostly under his breath.
Once she gets around the block, she'll circle around and cut through a back alley towards the back of the house.
That is easy enough to do. The yards aren't very large for these brownstones, but there is a little bit of a yard in the back. It's not too hard to jump the fence and get onto the property proper. In the house, as you approach, you do see lights on in the back, which you assume is either some sort of dining room or the kitchen, maybe.
Peer through windows.
As you look in the window, you see the two younger children crying. The oldest child, Jacqueline, is off at school at the moment. And you see his wife on the telephone. Her mouth is bleeding.
That's to say Carrie's mouth is bleeding.
If his wife's name is Carrie, then yes.
Rock on. And do you mean Georgia by the teenager girl?
I had assumed, given the time period, that he had a kid that was college-aged.
Yeah, oh, you said Jacqueline.
Well, I didn't realize you had named the whole family, so I had assumed that they had named the oldest daughter after you.
Nope. I mean, kind of, but not really. Close enough. Georgia, Jacqueline. It's fine. She will frown, but again, it's not up to her to interfere so much. She might stay and watch a little bit, make sure that he gets back inside safely, because in spite of her perhaps fondness for the rest of the family, especially the grandkids, her priority is Luke.
As you watch through the dining room window, you see her put the phone down and try to calm down the children. You do not see him come back in from where you are. Depending on how long you wait there, after about 10-15 minutes, you do hear sirens.
Alright, I will, fuck. Alright, stick around the corner and, up towards the front, stay in the shadows, and just kind of meld into them again.
As you hear the sirens, you see him stand up and wipe his hand on his pants again, and stick his hands in his pocket and walk down the street. At a brisk pace, but not exactly jogging or running.
Alright, we'll stay and watch for a few more minutes.
He heads down the street, like I said, at a brisk pace. He rounds the corner. About a minute after he rounds the corner, if you are not following him, the police cars will stop in front of the brownstone there. Or a police car. It's not like they sent out the SWAT team or anything for this.
Right. No, she will follow him.
All right, well, since you were not there to see it, you do hear the telltale signs of the police car stopping. Sirens go off. Not that they were on full blast, but they were barking it to get people out of the way. That stops. You probably see the reflection of the red and blue lights off the buildings, even though you can't see where they originate exactly. But you know, you're a smart girl. You can draw your own conclusions. He is continuing to walk at a brisk pace. It's chilly enough outside that him being just in a sleeveless undershirt is definitely affecting him to a degree. He stops into the corner store and buys a pack of cigarettes.
Alright, she will pause and wait.
He comes back out and he stands in the flickering streetlight. He packs the cigarettes on his hand there for a moment before ripping it open and putting one in his mouth, flicking one of the matches that they gave him with the cigarettes to light it. Takes a deep breath and blows out smoke above his head. He looks up and down the street. Obviously, he doesn't see you so much, though there aren't a whole lot of people to camouflage yourself within. And then he turns and continues to walk away from his house.
Damn it. Alright, she will keep following him.
All right. He continues to walk, and our camera will fade, and we'll come back to a scene in an alley with a rather large, ugly, dripping man who is holding a trash can defensively and eyeing our other two protagonists. He holds the trash can. Oh, go ahead, Larry.
You're eyeing him over towards him. Looks back at the man. Now look. We understand you're upset. That's all fine and good. But I made a promise, and I kept my fucking promise about that one upstairs. That's all there is to it. We can leave this the fuck alone. Right now, you can walk away, and we'll walk away and call it fair enough fucking trade, but you keep fucking pushing, you're not gonna like where the fuck this goes. So make a choice.
He holds the trash can in front of him like he's going to powerball it at somebody if they come close to him. His eyes narrow a little bit from what you can tell. It's not the best lighting here. And his eyes are kind of weird to begin with. He says, what happened upstairs?
Wait. Are you that fucking dumb? You see 2 licks leaving what you are claiming as upstairs, which means some connection to you, and your first reaction is to fucking try to claw them with a piece of wood?
Hey, I see 2 people crawling out of my window at night. What are you going to do?
It's a fucking piss poor bargain basement fucking neighborhood. You're lucky that they'll leave it empty-handed. And you're gonna respond with a fucking stick to my fucking cranium? This is your response? You have no idea what the fuck was even happening? Are you fucking stupid? You fucking serious? What if I wasn't a lick and you killed me? What are you gonna do with the body? I understand not willing to do nothing, but the first fucking thing is to figure out what the fuck is happening. Instead of walking around trying to fucking kill somebody. If anything was taken from your place, if anything was fucking taken from your place, you think it's a fair trade to kill somebody over your shit?
You came in my place uninvited. I know who you are.
Uninvited? Do you think that fucking matters? Take a look around your fucking neighborhood. You've had God knows how many things, beings, and people inside your place. And you catch someone leaving, empty fucking handed, and your idea is to try to fucking kill them? You seriously have no idea of scope. What the fuck was happening? What if we were getting handies? Or better yet, what if we was getting a little bit of blood money out of this whole situation? What if there was an arrangement that you weren't privy to and you just fucking tried to kill me? If I wasn't already dead, you... Seriously? Anything you fucking have is worth killing somebody over?
You were in my place. You like me, sorta.
And? What's the number 1 rule besides not get caught? We don't fucking kill each other.
Are you dead?
Yes, the fuck I am. And thank God. Otherwise, it would have been worse. You hit like a brick shithouse. 1 blow is more than enough to a fair trade. Okay, don't cross the boundary of my place anymore. You hit twice. You tried to fucking kill another member of your people. Loose cousins though we are. Which goes against the fucking traditions. Now you want to follow us, take out something that is of value to us, ruin our car, scratch our fucking bedroom windows that we don't sleep in, of course, because we can't be anywhere with a fucking light. Well, that's all fair and good. But you tried to fucking kill me. What about fucking scope? There's 2 of us. You forced us into defending ourselves to the point where we actually tried to kill you, and now we're in Shit's Creek because you have no idea of scope? Is everybody fucking stupid?
Suck it up, Buttercup. You're still walking.
No.
You came out of my place. That's
Fuck
my
your place.
That's where I live.
Fuck your place. You clearly don't live there well enough because your fucking roommate was mind raped by other motherfuckers, and you sit there and let that happen. I don't see you going after anybody that did that to him.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because, you know, he doesn't have a normal sort of face, but he looks confused for a moment.
Yeah. Your little shitheel of a roommate. Mind raped. Oh, I don't see you going after them. But no, you try to fucking kill me, then tell me to suck it up. You make all the sense in the world as a fucking $3 bill.
I'm bored. Let's go.
I see you again without an apology. Now we have personal, permanent beef. Even Stevens, no more of this.
He continues to hold the trash can in front of him, ready to fling it at anyone who comes at him. He kind of starts to say something a couple times. He doesn't seem to have whatever it is he's trying to say. He doesn't seem to be able to verbalize it into words, so he just doesn't say anything.
For your sake, leave this fucking neighborhood. Get the fuck out of Brooklyn. Find somewhere else. You're gonna end up fucking getting yourself laid out for the sun.
She doesn't turn her back on him. She keeps eye contact, but she starts backing out of the alleyway towards the street because she's done with this shit.
In response to Finn's words, he gives a little scoffing chuckle. But he doesn't make any movement to come at either one of you. He seems to be content to let you back off and call this a draw or whatever.
Pulls his hood up because literally Finn has had significant traumatic damage to his skull. So, backing away, he pulls his hood up and joins Rick in departing the area.
It is without a shadow of a doubt, having borne the brunt of those two attacks, that had you been a mortal, the first one probably would have killed you. He does not appear to follow you. He was very clearly a Nosferatu, so he came out of nowhere to begin with, so that's not necessarily reassuring that you don't see him. But as far as you know, you were able to make your way down the street without any further incident, at least from this gentleman. I assume your goal is to get the fuck out of Brooklyn?
Oh, considerably. We are places everywhere but here.
So, Penny, as you stand on the street watching the apple of your eye escape from punching his wife in the mouth, what are your thoughts? What's your plan here?
What's the time to daylight?
You got a few hours. You're probably about the middle of the night at this point. You've done a lot of walking.
Yeah. She's gonna head back toward the train. And then head back towards the other building that she saw him at.
Are you going to follow him onto the train again? Because that seems to be where he's heading as well, into the subway.
Well, in that case, yes, she will follow him onto the train again.
Keeping your distance?
Of course.
Alright, so he stands on the platform, flips his cigarette down onto the tracks. Fortunately, there are no transit cops there, because as I found out the hard way when I was 16, which was a long time ago, you cannot smoke on the train platform. The train pulls up, he gets into a car, you get into a car behind it. So you watch through the window again, just keep an eye on him.
Sure do.
And he does indeed go back to the neighborhood that he came from. Which is convenient, because it's not terribly far from where you left your car.
Right? Okay, yeah, she'll just follow him.
He makes a phone call as he gets off the train, station. You hear him kind of mumbling into the phone. It's mostly, yeah, okay, I'll be there in a minute. And you break back out onto the street, and he turns to go the way that he had come from before. You are pretty sure you know exactly where he's going.
All right. Just trailing behind.
He turns and walks up the steps of an apartment building. He rings the buzzer and is buzzed into the building.
All right. Then it appears that he is currently safe, at least for the moment. Penny will head back to her residence, swing up to floor 3, and talk to her manager, and instruct him to keep an eye out for an arrest for said person named Luke Jackson. And if that happens, we will provide anonymous bail money.
All right. He will grumble about how difficult that's going to be. If you know what precinct or whatever, because, tons of people get arrested every day.
Right. Well, she would be specific then, be Brooklyn, blah, blah, blah.
All right. He will do the best that he can. Meanwhile, also escaping Brooklyn, you guys catch a train with no problem, and it will take you back to Manhattan. Any conversations or plans going on?
Once they get back on the train, she is going to check him over as carefully as she can on the train without calling too much attention to them both, kind of like looking at the back of his head. It makes her a little madder, obviously, because it makes her want to go back there and beat his ass, but at the same time, Finn is her focus right now. She needs to make sure he's okay. She needs to get him home so they can check him out, make sure that everything's good. But while they're talking, she's like, okay, so we took care of that fucking loose thread. What do you want to do now? Besides, get better, because I know you're going to need some kind of healing. But other than that, what are we doing?
Sleeping for the next decade? No, we have to tie this up. We have to tie this off. And unfortunately, there's only so many ways we can actually do that. We need political favor to insulate ourselves from Edwards and Birch. And right now, we are exposed. Yes, we tied off that thread, but somebody already beat us to the punch. Sounds like Edward was some of his men, but it could also very easily be Birch. She hires the same sort. They're from the same pool of resources they normally would call on. Which means there's only a certain amount of time before someone tries to press the value of their lost resource. More than likely it's going to be Edwards to make the first move in that regard, but we can't put it past Birch to try to, get the early worm. So, do we have anybody that we can call a favor in for to insulate us from either of them or both of them?
Marlena would be my guess. Or we could talk to the pater, which also has offered favor. He might have already done me a favor, but I'm pretty sure he's willing to do more favors, which would further indebt me to him, but I don't mind at this moment, because he technically doesn't really have a dog in the fight. The only thing he's really worried about is his own shit over there in Dumbo. So we could go that route. We could go direct to the source, Marlena, because she has the most against the other two of them. Those are my two guesses. Those are my two thoughts on that particular problem. The only thing I'm also going to point out is you notice what all of this seems to have in common. You notice where we're getting information from the person that was following us on the videotape, the person that bitch that's working for her, and the person that just fought against us in the alleyway. What do they all fucking have in common?
A low IQ.
Facial problems. A ugly disposition, basically.
Well, yeah, all of them are sewer rats, but we know that Birch tends to hire sewer rats for her dirty work, or utilize them as mercenaries. We know that where one goes, another certainly to follow. So as long as she treats them profitably, I don't see that being a real connective issue, because it's mercenary work, which is the problem. Unless, of course, you're getting at the fact that maybe the Nosferatu are purposely pulling for Birch, which means what it means.
That's more where I'm leaning.
Yeah, and during the whole War of New York, didn't the Nosferatu, for the most part, stick it out for the tower? Plugged with the quote-unquote good guys, after all, who helped drive the sword out of New York. Wasn't it the Nosferatu's plan?
I really don't know what those fucks have planned, but it seems like they're all loosely working together, if not know what each other is up to, even if they're not directly working together. So we know, more than likely, if we come across a sewer rat, we can't trust those motherfuckers.
No, you had.
Which means that information that I got from that one at the bar should be taken with a grain of fucking salt.
I had no intentions of trusting them, but I understand. So, heads or tails, we're going to see we're going to go try to see the Peta, or we're going to go try to see Marlena to dig a back door for ourselves.
Which one do you think would be easier to work with?
Let's pull for Marlena. At least we know she's truly Tower and not just Tower affiliated. It should deal a little more fairly with us, considering, we're coming to her with our hats in our hands. We don't really have much to offer in the grand scheme of things, except for our service and our support.
Technically, we don't, but at the same time, we kind of do. And it might just solve two problems at one time.
Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Do you want to go home first and get healed up, or do we just want to go to Marlena's? We'll find Marlena.
Not sure it's going to make much of a difference, so let's go ahead and just find Marlena for now. I've had worse. I can't remember when, but I know that I've had worse.
Sorry, I was looking something up there. So, as you guys pick a destination, You are not 100% sure where to find her, but you have some ideas. Let's check back in with Penny. Penny, what are you doing? Apparently Penny is being AFK.
Is that like Raid Shadow Legends?
I think so. Are you there, Penny?
Yeah, I'm back.
So what is Penny's plan since she has gone and put her assistant on cop watch?
Her next plan is to go try to put her home back in order from pesky fort building ghosts. And contemplate her next moves as far as what's going on with her kid's home life, knowing that she probably shouldn't get involved. Trying to be very good about that. And what she is going to do about her little blue hair friend.
The apartment is a little unsettling. It's a little too quiet in there. The shadows move a little oddly from the corner of your eyes, but you are safe. Nothing attacks you or anything like that. It's just kind of weird to be there alone. And probably doubly so seeing what happened to Lyric and Morgan.
Right? I mean, it's fine. Get possessed, it's just another day, right?
Sure, you shouldn't let a little possession ruin your day.
I mean, it would only ruin her day if she walked outside in the sun.
That can be arranged. Back in Brooklyn, I assume you guys are going to, I guess, the docks area?
Yeah.
So for the sake of moving things along, we will say that she is in attendance. Take you half hour or so of waiting before she can see you, but you are taken into the back of a warehouse into a little office where she's just kind of sitting with her feet up on a makeshift desk. It's not exactly like it's old world craftsmanship or anything, but it's better than IKEA.
Man, I like IKEA. Those little Swedish meatballs I fucking die for.
The meatballs are good. She looks at both of you, and hopefully I'll do her some justice here. She kind of waves her hand at a couple of chairs, which are kind of high-end office chairs. You know, it's the kind of thing you'd buy at Staples.
Thanks for seeing us.
She takes her feet off the desk and sits in a more proper, more business-like sort of way. Says, of course, you guys have helped me, so she nods at Lyric and says, so I can certainly hear what it is that you have to say.
Even though this station wasn't out there, I'm thinking that you're very busy, so we're gonna get right down to the point. Rick here has some things that she wants to put by you.
All right, go ahead.
unfortunately, currently we have found ourselves in loose ties to somebody who wasn't 100% with us from the start. And they have also loosely tied us to people we would rather not be tied to. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So what
Edwards.
we're hoping, well, him and the other bitch,
Alright, go ahead.
what, what we're hoping is if we further tie ourselves to you and try to support and back your plays, that you would offer us a bit of umbrella, as it were, against these other associations, thereby distancing ourselves, and we are not coming empty-handed. We were earlier tonight paid a visit by a certain sheriff, wanting to have information. I don't know what exactly information he was looking for. He was very vague about that sort of situation. But at the same time, I have a good idea as to what information he wants. And I don't want to give that information to him, but I'm willing to give it to you so that maybe you could use it. Well, in exchange for, like I said, what we're asking for.
Well, in my experience with Kadir, if from what I've heard, I haven't had a lot of dealings with him, but if he's coming to you to have a conversation, he is looking for information. He probably has a lot of it already. He's just looking to put the last couple pieces in the jigsaw. He let you walk, though, so I mean, that's good.
It typically is, because if he has something to actively act on, or he didn't think we would lead him to a bigger fish, we'd have been tonight's dinner. That's typically the way that it's played. But, of course, things change. In the Civil War, the lovers' family back alley spat between one blue blood and the next. Deutsch. Edwards. Everybody keeps pushing us to make a decision between the two. If you were not protected by your own particular status outside of their purview, which would you choose?
I wouldn't choose either one of them. And that's what I'm kind of doing, is not choosing either one of them. Whichever one falls is good for me. Good for everybody. A couple of pricks. So, but blue blood's gonna blue blood, am I right?
Exactly my point. Being as I can't affect them one or the other to clear the board, that's the reason why I was asking. Because we've got a infestation problem with our associates. Their sides have already been chosen, and it ain't us. In fact, it's everybody but us. So we need to clear ourselves and find a way to protect what we have, which isn't all that much, but it's all that we have. So it's a lot.
So you're wanting me to get involved in this bullshit?
No, not at all. Actually, we would like to help support whatever you do have going as a way to avoid all of the other.
Well, unfortunately, what I got going, which I'm sure your comrade here could fill you in on, is I'm trying to get a voice at the table. And as long as this shit's going on, it don't seem like anybody's interested in anything I got to say. So I really don't care which of them wins. Ultimately, I wish they would both lose, but until that happens, I'm kind of stuck in a roadblock.
What seems to be the primary loggerhead with your operations? Because we would like to hew closer to free of the whole kit, caboodle, and the other.
Well, it depends on which operations you're talking about.
All of them? Any of them?
Well, I got a tentative agreement with the Giovanni Hakata, whatever they're calling themselves this year. And so that's all right. We're okay over here in Brooklyn, other than part of it being kind of off limits at the moment. Every time one of our people goes in there, they come back roughed up, if they remember what happened there at all. Some of them just disappear. But I'm not so worried about that. I'm more worried about what's going on your island. And as far as that goes, like I said, until these two Ventru get done with their little dick measuring contest, I'm kind of stuck here playing with my own. Now, if you've got a proposal, a way to kind of help that, if you push one of them off the board or both of them off the board, I'm willing to hear it.
You know what? You're absolutely correct. Thank you for your time.
She looks at you quizzically for a moment, but she doesn't stop you from leaving.
Lyric looks at Marlene and then back at Finn just as quizzically, but she's learned, if anything, in the years that she has known him, to trust him, and he has an instinct. So that goes the same for me. Thank you for at least listening and hearing us out. You know how I can be reached, I guess, through Central Park if you at any point decide that you would want our help for anything. That offer stands. But I guess we gotta all figure this shit out on our own, right? And she will stand and hold her hand out to Finn.
Of course, she helps her up and slides the chair back.
Sure thing. You guys need an umbrella or something? I'm here. I mean, it's Brooklyn. I know that that ain't the greatest. Know you how you Manhattan licks are, but you know, the offer's there. Seems like you're kind of stuck in the middle of this shit, whether you want to be or not. So if you want to just get out of the shit, you can come over here.
Thank you for your offer, Elena. It means a lot.
She nods and stands up respectfully as the two of you leave. Or for the two of you to leave, rather.
It's getting a little close to sunrise. Do you want to do anything else tonight, or should we just go home?
Yeah, let's get off the street for a little bit. We gotta put our heads together. We're gonna have to, unfortunately, kiss the ring no matter what. We really don't have any agency in regards to making a decision yet. So, let's knuckle under, get ourselves ready for tomorrow.
Alright, well, there is enough time for you to definitely cross the river and go to pretty much any one of your bolt holes that you would like to, as long as you don't dally and such, get distracted on the way. Penny, you are cleaning up your furniture.
I am.
Other than the whole place being a little unsettling, as I described earlier, nothing happens while you're doing that. Is there anything else you would like to do with the time you have left in the night?
Was that towards everybody?
She.
Yes, but let's see. Let Penny finish, and then I'll get to you guys.
Penny will sit down and write a couple of letters and tuck them aside. Before she falls asleep for the night, she will call down to check if there are any messages for her.
There are not.
Alright, cool. So she will set her letters aside to finish them tomorrow when she's maybe a little more clear-headed after the whole head fuck that was tonight. And just go get ready for bed.
So, Lyric and Finn, where do you guys end up for the day? And is there anything else you would like to do before the sun rises and puts you back into your death state?
Not dying for the night. Up in Yorkville, where Finn's actual haven is perfectly fine. It's much of the same conversations they've been having for the last few months, few weeks on end. With initially, the idea was to affect the change that would most benefit them, to find information to present to their combined coterie so that they could plot a way forward to be free of all of the hoopla. When the walls closed down and there was literally no way to find any information or affect any of that change, the idea was to stay free of it. Unfortunately, with the tables having changed and having turned, and there still being no way to remain free of it, it is unfortunately time for them to enact what they've been discussing this whole time. So that's what they're going over as the sun takes what little semblance of life is left in them. That same conversation where the details are known and they're hitting the same roadblock and still coming up with the same problems while trying to avoid the path forward. Because for them, at least for Finn, as far as Finn understands, that being free of those blue bloods going one against the other was the only way. And unfortunately, without that being a viable course, they've got to knuckle down and actually take the bull by the horns. It would have been beneficial to have more help and more resources. Sadly, that's not an option for them presently.
Well, having some status and some exposure to politics, you kind of can understand why, because you guys are embroiled in the middle of this through no fault of your own, having been bamboozled into striking out and making a hit for one side against the other. And a lot of people are aware of that now, so they're kind of afraid to get into bed with you, because then that makes them choose a side, and really everyone is afraid to choose a side publicly because they don't want to be on the losing side. If that makes sense, just from my storyteller perspective of why things have been the way they have been.
All of it makes sense.
For Lyric, even though they don't really stop anywhere else on the way home, she is going to make sure that Ben heals himself, and if he gets hungry, she's going to make sure that he has supplies he needs to put himself back to regular health. And like you said, the conversations are going to be the conversations. There's probably a bit of what happens when it's just them. The letting down of guards. They know they can be 100% themselves with each other, so that happens. And yeah, that's pretty much how they would end their night, like kind of curled up with each other, knowing that they have to start again tomorrow.
Well, the damage is a situation that definitely needs to be dealt with. I'm not sure that you have enough time to deal with it this evening, because Finn said that he was already hungry. What's your hunger at? Like 3, 4?
3.
So trying to heal all that damage without some blood on hand is probably not wise. You need to be extremely lucky, which could happen. If you'd like to heal any of it before you sleep, you're certainly welcome to make the rolls. But if it were me, I would wait till the next night you had a victim.
Yeah, no, that wasn't. He actually mending the damage wasn't on the table just yet. He is very sensitive to the blessings of his blood.
And to be fair, you were hit in the back, so a lot of that damage, if you're wearing a shirt or a coat, is out of sight.
I'm just saying what I mean more is like it's not performative, but she goes about it in a more human way. Like she knows that he can heal himself tomorrow, but there is still that care that's taken, the here, let me wipe your back, that kind of thing. So she goes about it in a more human way, even though technically what he needs is kindred healing.
So some tender moments then. No pun intended.
Very tender.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the good news is that the day is uneventful. You all wake up where you put yourselves to be when you woke up. We'll do the bookkeeping of the rouse checks, crossing our fingers for Finn, who is already at 3 and has damage to heal.
Looks like Lyric's anger caught up with her.
Okay, looks like Lyric had a bad night and her beast is responding in kind. Everyone else seems to wake up exactly where they were. As we consider our actions for the evening, I assume that Finn has hunting high on his priority list. Whether Lyric accompanies him or not, I have a feeling that she probably will. Penny, what are your plans for the evening? I know you're waiting for a callback from a message you left. You had an invitation that has gone unanswered. I think that covers everything other than finding out about your son.
Right. She is going to go through all of her morning, quote-unquote, morning rituals, head downstairs. She's not terribly hungry, but, never does to go out and have an eventful night like she's expecting based on yesterday. A little peckish, so she's gonna nip downstairs and have a bite. And then she is going to return to finish those letters, make a drop, and double check the invitation. How many days left until the get together that Sadie told us about?
I think it's only been like 2 days since that conversation, so it'd be like another week and a half.
Okay. Cool. So she's gonna just keep that in mind and go about doing the rest of the stuff.
All right, and Finn and Lyric, what are your definitive plans for at least the beginning of the evening?
A conjoined group hunt. A simple wipe down and dress in dark clothes and slip out into the night to hunt.
Sharing a victim or finding your own?
Sharing several victims. It is time to let slip and be a little considerably more monstrous in this. We have to go bandy about with powers that are far in excess of where we are presently. There's no time to be kind. So it's several moments of stalking, hunting, sharing, and moving on. Of course, the goal is to leave them mostly living, letting them have had a very enjoyable, rough bit of play, but if it gets out of hand, it gets out of hand.
Okay. Is there a specific mode the pair of you are hunting in, or are you clubbing people? Are you luring people with your wiles? Are you just waiting for people to enter your lair?
No, there are several people on his list that he keeps an eye on. So he is hoping to use Rick's heightened abilities to pick up danger to corner several of those on his several list of hits.
So like a herd, or just some profiles you've been keeping?
Just profiles.
All right. If you would like to make your hunting roll, Lyric, are you imbibing in the feeding, or are you just along for moral and physical support?
For the first couple, it's just moral support, helping, making sure they don't get away, because she's not super hungry. She's only at 2, but then the last one she'd probably take from.
All right, so let's get a hunt roll out there into the world. As far as Penny goes, I have a note of your letters that you are writing. Are you sending them by courier? Are you hanging on to them for now? What exactly are you doing with them?
The one is going to be going in the drop, and then the other one she will hold on until a little later, just to make sure that she doesn't have any other option.
All right, so it's a contingency then. Got it. Well, that's not good.
What would her hunting roll be?
If you are hunting with Finn, whatever mode he is using, looks like manipulation and intimidation there. Though I'm willing to hear other suggestions if you are helping him in a different way than that.
I just went with the standard 3 because, again, they're hunting several individuals, so...
Yeah, she's got a specialty in stealth and ambush.
Okay, that's fine. If you guys are hunting separate individuals, that works for me.
No, several individuals was the goal.
Oh. Right. I'll just take that one roll for the whole of it, because that is enough roll to deal with there.
By making a strong pot of black tea, but steep it with the oak cubes. This is the most important part, because together these will add tannins, which is sort of that dry sensation. Then the oak also provides useful taste.
Penny, your mic is open. As I consider Finn's messy critical here, exactly how I want to address that, it is 10:46. We'd like to take a 10-minute break. Now what I think is an awesome time to do so.
Excellent.
Alright, I is back.
Oh.
I believe in miracles.
Do you, though?
I do.
Alright, so assuming everyone is back, or at least enough of us are back, because I need to deal with a semi-catastrophic hunting roll there.
Indeed.
So tell me about the first person on your list there, Finn.
There was a factory in the Dominican Republic that employed Haitians by the score. The factory made, of all things, the aglet for several factories of shoes made abroad. So they compile the plastics and melt them down to shape, and they still have to be heat treated once they get to the factory, but the aglet itself was ready to go. And while most people don't ever really think about what an aglet is or what purpose it serves, it was a multi-million-dollar industry because they supplied very below-cost aglets around the world to the various shoe factories abroad. How they did that was through the outright cruelty to their workers. Cents on the dollars would be a raise. Cups of meal and the like was what was provided to the men, the women, the children, everyone they could force into service. And when the authorities came for their cut, their payments, their taxes, instead of paying those, they burned the factory down with all the employees inside so no one could rat them out, and then fled the country with their ill-gotten gains. Of course, this was information that Finn didn't have until, well, months later, years later, weeks later. The old adverb of a day late and dollar short is what he was living in. And as his morality slowly began to change, as his sense of ethics, because up until relatively recently, it didn't matter. What you did and who you were did not matter. He provided a service. He still provides a service, though now he's more discerning. And so he's making amends by keeping a watch and keeping them as part of his circuit of individuals he's feeding from. I didn't think that people could be so inherently cruel. He kept himself deaf, dumb, and blind because it couldn't be as bad as his sire and as bad as his mother and father, and it couldn't be as bad as they were saying because while he had met cruelty, he had never met that level of monstrous cruelty even from other kindred. So he was blithely rebellious. Those days are over. It matters very much.
And as you walk into the building to confront this bastard for the things he's done, to try to get your pound of flesh in liquid form, he's just so... You don't know whether it's just the night you've had, the last couple nights, the fact all the shit you're dealing with, you can't seem to find any respite or aid in this situation that you have found yourself in through no fault of your own. Or perhaps it's just, you are a little battered up, that didn't go the way you wanted it to. Or perhaps it's just his stupid face and how incredulous he is, but at one moment he's talking, and the next moment he's unable to talk. Your face is covered in his blood. He is bleeding heavily from the neck as he lays on the floor, his shocked eyes staring up in disbelief of what has happened. But deep down, you just feel better. Your beast is very happy with what has gone on. As you realize what you've done, you realize that perhaps you don't need to do much more hunting tonight because you feel absolutely sated.
Fuck. For fuck's... Fuck! You're not supposed to have the easy way out, Baptiste. You're not supposed to have the fucking easy way out. Rick, I need you. He's married. I need you to find out where his wife is. I need you to clean this up. I need to take care of this. Oh, fucking God.
If you wanted to punish him, there's still time to turn him. mean, it's against the law and probably not in your best interest, but, you know, it is an option.
We will, despite the absolute panic of the situation, will cup his face in her hands and look him into the eyes. I need you to be the man I know you are and calm down for me so that we can take care of this properly. Mistakes happen. It's fine. We can handle this, right?
We can handle this. This is handleable. We need to find his wife. She can't find him here like this. Let me take care of this. Look through his things, see if you can figure out where she's at and if she's on her way home, because we need to make sure that she doesn't walk into this. This is just the cover-up is always worse than the crime, and we need to make sure we don't have to cover this up.
Okay. So she does what he's asking. She'll go through his wallet, try to find out any information she might need to, sorry about that, delay his wife coming home so that they have time to handle this.
All right. The address that you get from his wallet is not terribly far from where you are now. This is his quote-unquote place of business. He does some consulting and maybe some importing, exporting, trying to keep a low profile, a modest business. You have no idea where she is, obviously, but like I said, the address is not terribly far from where you are. Finn, this is 2 bodies in 2 days, man.
Well, you know, once you pop, you can't stop.
There is that. We will give you another stain, because you are racking up the stains. I see you've already attended to it there, but this one was on accident at least. But it felt pretty good, I think. At least in the moment, maybe not in recollection. Go ahead,
Lyric is going to take his cell phone from him, using his thumbprint while he's still warm enough to access it, and text his wife from his cell phone that taking you out for surprise dinner, meet me, and then at a location way the fuck across town.
Alright, so you press his bloody thumbprint against the screen of his phone. Obviously leaves the thumbprint behind. You were able to smear it around as you type out the little letters on the screen to text that message. Takes a couple minutes. It's not immediate. 2-3 minutes later, she texts back a simple okay.
Looking at Finn, I brought you some time, love. Let me just make it look like a robbery gone wrong.
If we use a firearm right now, it'll be problematic. So start rifling through the.
She pulls a switchblade out of her pocket.
She crouch and lick the wound clothes that were made with fangs. Then begin rifling through the medicine cabinet for peroxide and bleach, and we're gonna make a quick solution to take care of a good portion of the blood.
It's just a real basic sort of first aid kit here, so you probably find some peroxide. I don't know if you find a whole lot of bleach, maybe some rubbing alcohol.
No, that's not the recipe at all. You can't even do that right, this fucking guy. Well, I much rather prefer not having to do it so messily. I guess we don't have a choice in the matter. So finally give in and relent, I guess we're gonna have to do it the loud way, unfortunately. Do you feel up to it, or do you need me to do it?
Rick shrugs and hoists the man up to his standing height, steps behind him, puts her switchblade to his neck, and drags it across.
All right, that is easy enough to do. He's not resisting. But
And then when they leave, she's gonna make sure that they take everything out of his pocket.
No, it's just not the pockets. We gotta take the TV as well.
Yeah, we'll take everything of some sort of value.
I know I'm asking for a lot.
all right.
I know I'm asking for a lot, but we're gonna have to make this seem a little louder than it needs to be. So once we get everything downstairs, we're gonna come back and kick the door open, so that he's potentially found by a neighbor, okay?
He smiles at him. I've been needing to get a little bit of anger out tonight, so that's fine with me.
So there's the plan. A robbery gone wrong, a spree of criminality happening all over New York in a series of a few nights. And the worst thing of it is, the absolute worst part of it is, it wouldn't even move the needle at all in regards to the amount of violence that happens with so many people living so close to the top of one another.
Yeah, it's not going to make the news, but you're on your way to being a serial killer. As are most kindred. And speaking of most kindred, Penny, what exactly do we find you occupying your time with, since you are not cleaning up a murder scene?
Well, as mentioned, going downstairs and having a bite to eat, and then making a drive over to a dead drop. Beyond that, once again, checking messages, seeing if there's anywhere she needs to be, any jobs she needs to do, and just, being her normal self.
All right, you check your messages. Did you do a hunt roll?
Not yet.
Well, let's get one of those and see if you can be part of the gang, or if it just goes uneventfully.
Right. See, I think I'm just going to be tapping my herd.
Well, then that's even better. We don't even need a roll for that. You find one of your favorite vessels and get enough to take the edge off there. I think you were only at 2 hunger, weren't you?
Yup.
So yeah, a little quick sip and on your way. As far as messages, you have the typical fare. There is a message from someone named Raffi. They came in just after sunset.
Wonderful. What does it say?
It just says, returning your call, just got your message.
Cool. No, meet me here, or I will meet you there, or anything like that?
Nope, just a number.
Cool. Alright, well then, in that case, we'll go back upstairs and give him a call.
All right. The phone rings 2, 3, 4 times, and then it is answered. You hear a young man's voice on the other side. He says, "Yeah."
Hey, is Raffi in?
Yeah, this is Raffi. Who's this?
It's JJ.
JJ. You don't sound like JJ.
Yeah, well, moved up in the world since then.
Yeah, not down here slumming it with his dogs no more, huh?
On occasion.
Well, I'm sure you didn't call to catch up on my birthday, so what can I help you with?
You at home, the library?
I mean, I could be.
Can I meet you there?
Sure. How long you think?
30 minutes, maybe?
I think I can tie up here before then. I might be a little late, but not too bad.
Alright. I'll see you then.
Aight. He just hangs up.
Perfect.
So
She
you
will,
have time to hit the dead drop on the way.
Yep. Fabulous. And, head on over.
Alrighty. Meanwhile, back at the crime scene, you guys managed to get all of his personal belongings out of his pockets. Anything he had laying around the office proper and the television, are easily able to come back up and kick the door in. What would you like to do from there?
I know this is in poor taste, Rick, but how you feeling? You didn't get an opportunity to intercede and have a drought or two.
Honestly, this is the most fun I've had in a while. And that's fucked up. But at the same time, it is what the fuck it is. She just kind of shrugs. I mean, part of me feels like this is what I'm meant to be doing. But at the same time, I know I'm supposed to be pretending to be human. But this shit doesn't bother me like it used to, you know? And maybe that's a problem. And maybe I'm gonna turn into one of those things that you feel like one day you have to kill. But for now, I'm good with doing the shit that's too hard for you. Okay? But she kissed him on the cheek and then, like,
So you know that means we still gotta go and kowtow, as it were.
they can leave. Which one?
Let's go meet Edwards.
Alright. So, I guess we're heading to the building that we met him at the first time.
Yeah, let's go play a little ding dong ditch, and then we'll deal with Cantalina shortly thereafter.
Deal. But you do know we gotta watch out for people watching us to make sure that we're not doing exactly what the fuck it is we're about to do.
Yeah, not much we can really do about that. I wish there was, but unfortunately, it's a big city. Everybody and their mother has their eyes turned towards us.
Fair enough. Shall we? And I guess that's when they head off towards Edward's building.
All right. We'll put a pin in that for a moment and go back to Penny. You've been here before. It is an unassuming brownstone in the Lower East Side. It is not very well lit. It's almost like the building is trying to hide itself from view, but not in a way that draws more attention. Just easy to overlook, but if you know what you're looking for, you know where the building is. So you park your car, you walk up, you ring the bell. A door is answered by a little old lady who looks you over her bifocals and nods and waves you in. You enter into seems like another world, old world sort of charm, antique furniture, smells of mahogany in there, old books, a little musty. You are shown into a sitting room where you are asked to wait by the little old lady who has a strong Italian accent. She asks you if she can get you anything.
I will tell her I am fine. Thank you, grandmother.
And she will nod, say something under her breath, and cross herself, and then walk out of the room. Just a few minutes later, not even like 5 whole minutes, a rather gaunt man in a suit that is slightly better than off the rack. It's not exactly tailored to fit him, but it's a little better than something you'd buy at the mall. He comes in, he's got dark hair, said he's very gaunt, almost a skeleton of a man. He looks you over, says, what's up, JJ?
Oh, so many things. But apparently an associate of mine has woken up a thing that you might have some fun playing with at my place. She will pull out her picture.
So you've got teenagers?
I mean, grandkids, sure. But no. Apparently some little ghost girl did this. And build a pillow for it.
He will hold out his hand and take the pictures and look at them.
And possessed a couple of people. It's fine. I mean...
You say this was at your apartment?
Yeah.
Have you considered moving?
I like my place. It's right by my job. Well, the one that the mortals think I have.
Well, you know, that family in Amityville liked their place too, and you know how that turned out.
Yeah, well. It, took over one person, and then took over another person at the same time, I think, and, like, had them bash their head into a mirror. It was an interesting night.
Oh, that's not good. Did they invite him in?
I don't think so.
Huh. That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
So what do you want from me then?
I mean, aside from your professional opinion that I need to move out, I just like more information about this shit, because, you know, it's not my alley.
Well, generally speaking, they, like, you know, you invite them in, like, you make a deal, you invite them in, but if they're coming in not being invited in, that's not good. I know that's probably not very helpful, but that's kind of what I got on that situation.
Yeah. Like, I knew there was some spooky shit going on there when I bought the place. A little annoying, but manageable. It's like, fuck it. I mean, lights flickering, whatever. Right? And then, like, a few months ago, one of my buddies decided, hey, you know what would be awesome? I'm going to kill a chick in your place while you're outside talking to someone else. And then shit hit the fan.
That checks out a little bit. You got any more details than that? Be more specific?
I mean, what you want to know specifically? Because, like, this is just fucked up.
I mean, like, who did he kill? How did he kill them? Were they under duress? Was it a suicide?
He killed them with a gun, and the blood spot won't stay cleaned. This was after we rescued her from some bondage.
I see. So the person you killed was under quite a bit of duress, maybe not in the best mental state.
Probably not.
I have to talk to some people, maybe do a little reading. What is it? You want me to come over there? You just want me to help you move? Or
I mean, I thought you might be interested. But yeah, come on over.
oh no, I'm interested.
Yeah,
But yeah, I have to. You know, like I said, I don't want to come over unprepared. Sounds
Right.
like what you got there is kind of malicious, right? Has it done anything else?
Not to me. Just built a pillow fort and drew a picture.
See, that's not typical behavior either. So, yeah, you got somewhere else you can stay for a while?
I mean, I can find somewhere, but, you know, my escape room is right under, and I need to make sure it's not going to affect business, too.
I mean, wouldn't that help your business if it, like, killed somebody?
Maybe.
Yeah, I have to get back to you. So if I do this, what are you offering?
I mean, typical fare, right?
I guess an eye for an eye is what you're saying?
Isn't that how it always is?
Yeah, I guess so. I'll give it some thought, see if I want to cash anything in right away. Otherwise, you know, I'll just hold it. Put it on your
Yeah.
tab, right?
Right. I mean, we have a fairly decent tab going on, so.
So yeah, give me a couple days. Like I said, I gotta talk to some people, look some things up. This doesn't sound like your average run-of-the-mill, like, Casper situation, so...
Yeah. The regular Casper situation I could deal with. It was kind of cute.
But yeah, if you're gonna stay there, watch your back. Maybe not be alone. Especially
Well,
if it's just jumping into people uninvited, because who knows, you know, it could, you know, it fuck you up pretty bad. You know, what if it gets in you during the day while you're sleeping? It'll walk you right into the sun, right?
Yeah, that is a concern. I can, I mean, she's a little bit of a fugitive right now, but I can get you one of the people that was possessed, the one with the broken mirror head. But the other one, well, the other two involved, really, they're not huge fans of mine right now. Politics,
Yeah,
am I
you know,
right?
I want to ask, but I don't want to ask, so I'll just let it sit there. It's none of my business. So yeah,
Wow.
give me a couple days, and I'll be in touch. That number that I called before, that's a good number, right?
Yeah, that's my business there, right below my place.
All right, yeah. So I'll get a hold of you. Anything else you need? A cup of tea or something?
Nah. Nona already asked.
All right. Well, you know, I don't want to be rude, but I got some reading to do and some inquiries to make so I can look into your problem. So, you know, you're welcome to sit in here all you like, but I'm gonna go get on that.
All right. Well, I will look forward to talking to you, Raffi. And mostly, I'm going by Penny these days.
Penny, that's cute. There any like significance to that?
Oh, just a couple of people that I knew early in life kept using all of these phrases, in for a penny, in for a pound, lucky penny, that sort of shit. So it's like, you know what? I'll just kind of adopt that.
Seems rather antiquated, but you know, whatever floats your boat.
I mean, my escape room is called the Penny Dreadful Escape Room, so I mean, it kind of fits.
I get it.
I knew you would. Alright. Anyway, I will talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll be in touch. You have a good night.
You too.
He does a little half bow, sort of an old world kind of charm thing, and he turns and walks out of the room. Leaves the door to the quote unquote sitting room open for you.
Alright. And she'll get up and head on out.
Meanwhile, our camera cuts back to the other two, who are on their way to the building where they originally met Edwards. They enter the building. It is a high-rise in Midtown with a good view of the park, though it is not right on the park. You are met by reception at the desk, a pair of security guards who are armed, but, they're not exactly off-duty police officers or anything. They don't say anything as you enter, but they do kind of look at you expectantly there.
Well, unimpeded, we're going to head to the elevator and go to where we were when we first met him.
One of them stands up. It looks like they're about to say something. The other one just shakes his head at him, and they just let you go. Clearly, they don't get paid enough for this shit.
No one ever does.
You either belong there, or they don't want to be involved.
That was the best choice.
So you push the button, I assume, on the elevator and go up to the floor that you remember going to before?
Yep.
As you enter, the elevator dings and empties into what was an office, a law office. Right now, it appears that they've had a fire sale. Everything has been moved out of it. You do hear some noises from deeper inside, like some banging.
Approach the noise.
As you get closer to the noise, you hear a radio playing. You hear a woman humming as two men are pounding on the drywall, bringing it down.
It's a little late for all that. But you can help me out, and I won't rat you out that you guys are working outside of operating hours. The business that was here before, you know where they got off to?
The woman turns and looks at you. She's holding like an iPad, some sort of tablet in her hand. She looks the two of you over and smiles. She is a slim woman wearing like a pinstripe pencil skirt, sort of a suit sort of thing. She has expensive shoes on. She's wearing a pair of fashionable glasses, which she looks at you both over. Her makeup is impeccably done. She has dark hair that's kind of pulled back into a sort of bun. She smiles at both of you, says, "I'm sorry, can I help you? The business that was here before, it's still here. We're just doing a little remodeling."
You know where your predecessor was? Is? Potentially.
That depends. You know who my predecessor is?
By looks, yes. But we're here for your boss, if it's the same business. We'd like to hold a conversation.
Well, I'm afraid he's indisposed. Is there something that you would like to converse with me about? And she says, I'm sorry. And she extends her hand, says, "I'm Priscilla."
How you doing, Prissy? Your boss. Where's he indisposed at? Out of his clothes at?
I would be happy to tell you if you would mind telling me who it is you're looking for, just for confirmation that we're speaking of the same person?
We're trusting you to be the person that we need to speak with. You're trusting us that we are talking about the same person. The gentleman that he scared into taking a header kicked off all of this bullshit. So we're gonna talk, or you'd like to bandy about a little bit more? I'm a little under pressure, so forgive me for being brusque.
No, I get it. Forgive me for enacting even the scantest sort of security measures before I offer any information. I assume you're looking for Mr. Edwards?
That is a very fair and accurate assumption.
Well, to be truthful, because I see that you are a no-nonsense sort of man, I am not entirely sure where he is. It's been a few days since I've seen him, nearly a week since he's made any contact.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Which, as I might add, has me a little concerned, because it's not like him.
Alright, so where was he at the last time you made contact? We'll go take a look and take your number and let you know what we find out.
Well, last time I talked to him was here. He told me he had a business meeting to attend to later in the evening after we met him. It was about 6 days ago, 5 nights ago. You forgive me, I'm not used to these nocturnal hours yet. But yeah, that's his, when I met him, he said he had a business to attend to, another meeting, and I have not heard from him since.
Okay.
I would like to be more helpful. Is there anything else that I could help you with? Any other questions or something I can look into?
Doubtful. But thank you for your honesty and your authenticity. I wish you luck with whatever it is that you are divulging here, whatever you're building, whatever you're getting up to.
I'm just making space for myself here, making my own office. We're going to rebrand the entire firm, build it from the ground up. You know how it goes. You have to change identity every once in a while.
I do.
Is there... Go ahead.
Did he tell you what happened to his last secretary?
I heard about it, yes. Yes, that she met a grisly fate. Something to do with the current state of affairs. He didn't go into much detail on that. He did refer to someone, I'm afraid, don't have their name. He referred to her most politely as that bitch. There were some other derogatory terms that he used that I won't repeat here, but I'm sure you can use your imagination.
I have aphasia. I'm not able to really make pictures in my head, so... And of course, it's expressly stated that it's all just the unknowable cosmos for me.
Well, as long as we're all on the same page and you are not left unawares of what possibly could happen to you, not from us, mind you, because we had nothing to do with the other fucking secretary, but as long as you're okay with what might happen should you work with this man, then okay, we're good. Thank you so much. You have been very helpful. And she looks to Finn. Are we ready?
She gives the two of you a little smile. And she runs her tongue across one of her fangs when she does that and says, "Oh, don't worry. I'm a little more durable than the last one."
Yeah, that's what she thought too. Wish you luck with your agency, whatever that it might be for you.
Is there a message I can pass on? Or if you'd like to leave a number, perhaps I could contact you if I hear anything? Or a dead drop, or however you'd like to do it.
I'm sure.
Or Or you can always check back, or we can just call this the end of our transaction. However you'd like to handle it.
I'm sure if you describe what we look like, that he will either send someone looking for us or have several different epithets to label us as well. You have an enjoyable evening as best as possible.
She extends her pale little hand to shake. Says, of course, I look forward to seeing you again, perhaps entering into some business or maybe some more pleasurable interactions.
Yeah, I don't see pleasure being on our menu for quite some time. You have an enjoyable evening. Rick, let's get out of here. This place is bugged.
She shrugs. She continues to smile at you. As you guys turn out, she looks back, starts tapping on her tablet again, yells at one of the workers for a moment. She makes no effort to follow you.
Once we are out of the building... Okay. Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they would have to deal with that. But
Once you're out of the building.
We're out of the building and well away. She looks at him. Do we have any concern that he has suddenly gone missing and that his lackey doesn't know where the fuck he is? Or, like, how are we taking this?
Well, she doesn't seem to care very much about where he might have gotten off to. Or she's able to have a better poker face than I could possibly imagine. I'm hoping that it's the latter, but I'm afraid it might be the former.
If either of you would like to, you can make an intelligence and politics roll. Let's see if the name rings a bell to you at all. Or you can ignore it. Just throwing it out there. But don't let me impede roleplay with it.
Rick has no...
Yep, her name might as well have been Mud as far as you're concerned. For Finn, you're not really drawing a conclusion on it, but the name sounds familiar. It's a name you've heard at court before. You assume. She didn't give you a last name, but you are aware of a kindred named Priscilla, but you're not sure why.
Well, we need information brokers. We need information. We don't really have much. Who can we hit up to question about Priscilla, Elvis's wife?
Penny, if you'd like to make the same role, because maybe you're a person that has the information, even though you have no idea that you have the information. Just for future reference. Though I don't know that they're going to go ask Penny anything. Add that to my list of things that I need to fix.
Oh, good. It was intelligence politics.
Yes.
I don't know, Lyric. Is a little capricious with things sometimes, so as they're walking, she pulls out the burner and just simply texts to Penny, Edwards is missing, new secretary doesn't seem all that concerned. And then sends it.
Penny, you receive a text as you are leaving Raffy's.
Penny will snap back. She give a name?
Lyric will show the phone to Finn with an eyebrow raise.
Nothing beats a failure but a try.
Lyric will respond, Priscilla? Question mark?
Penny will send back kid ... perhaps.
He says kid, perhaps. So, does that mean that's like Edward's kids, or?
I couldn't begin to tell you. That doesn't answer anything. Possibly because we have so much going on and working angles. Maybe I'm just simpler than I like to get credit for.
The fuck? Lyric's response back to Penny will be another one. Is this one real or imagined? I mean, real or imagined.
She'll send back a shrug emoji. Out of town for a long time. Same family tree, more or less.
And then she gets the aha emoji back as an understanding, like, got it. And then puts her phone back in her pocket. After telling Finn the same thing that she got from the message. So, are we still going to see the other one, or what are we doing?
Doesn't work without the counterbalance between the two. So, still got 2 weeks of that bout before the shindig at the who's it's what's it's. I'd if it was possible in this moment, the only thing I'd really enjoy doing is sealing ourselves into a nice, fully lauded high-rise with mortals who are growing their own food on the roof, their own livestock and pets operating somewhere in the building, throughout the building, breeding, and all of this shored up from the outside world, and done with the whole lot of this.
Is that your version of a white picket fence? You know how fucking bored I would get?
You know how bored I
We
would
would
be.
get on each other's last nerve.
Completely and totally.
Forever.
Yep. But the relative peace, at least for a couple of years, might be worth it.
So you're wanting to wake them out, basically. That's what you're saying. You're wanting to brick us in and wake them out.
I'm honestly at my wit's end.
That's not the Finn I know.
No, it's not. My character has been all but assassinated. Being quick of mind, having a clear-cut, definitive answer or solution that might see through to the end. In the last few days, I've gone from trusting in myself to a spree killer. I need one more, you know that, right? One more to be an effective spree killer. Because the only difference between what I have managed over the last few nights and a serial killer is the fact that there's no cooldown between it. New York quantifies it at 3, with a month or more time, a cooldown period. A refractory period, if you will. Spree killing is the exact same thing with no cooldown, no refractory. I'm comfortably into that now. Adding injury to the insult that I've heaped upon myself and vicariously upon you. It's the very real sense of betrayal that I am having. And here's the thing, it's not directed at anybody but myself. The sense of betrayal that I have right now, the remorse that I feel in my heart for the souls that deserve far more punishment and far more justice than I delivered to them. And for trusting anybody aside from you. For attempting to offer second and third opportunities. And what does it get? What does it end up with? Nothing having any clear, direct effect. Beating our heads at the opportunities that we've carved out with the thinnest veneer of success, with the thinnest veneer of clarity, of purpose moving forward. It's a painful moment.
You stare at him for a minute. Like, just quiet. Staring at him for a minute. I don't know what to do about this. I don't. Because, when we met, you were loud and brash and smart and everything I wasn't. It feels like you're slipping away from me and becoming somebody else, and I know that's not entirely your fault. I know this is being forced upon you, but I can't help wanting to grab you and either shake you or hug the shit out of you, because I don't know which you need right now.
That's a good question. I need to figure that out, huh?
I'm not good at this. I'm not.
Neither one of
I
us are.
beat people up. That's what the fuck I do.
Yeah. Grabbing her arms and pulling her into an embrace. Not much has changed except for the efficacy of it. The ability to run my mouth is still here. The ideas are still here. The lack of traction one way or the other is the debilitating part of what's going on. The remorse for all the deaths that I've caused recently. The guilt is heavy. But I'm still here. I am still here. As much as it is painful in moments and passings and seconds in between, I am still here. Not giving up. I am giving up. But I haven't given up yet. There's still just enough fight for us to get through this, I suppose.
And as Finn tries to convince Lyric, and I think at some little bit himself as well, dealing with the horror that is and surrounds Kindred existence, our camera fades out on a pair of Kindred locked in an embrace, trying to reassure each other, holding on to each other, perhaps the only thing that they have for certain, or as much as certainty counts in this world of darkness. And Penny considers her problems with her haunted apartment and her troubled son. We will draw to a close. The credits will roll, and we will call that an episode. And I thank you all for coming along and hope you had a good time. And we will see you next time.
And away we go.
Good night.